Hotep brothers and sisters, Black Power, as always, giving honor to the Creator, the ancestors, my sister, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, my father, my in-laws, my subscribers, viewers, family, and all those that are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation. First of all, I want to talk about some tragic event that took place last week here in the Washington, D.C. area with 5 children were killed in a fatal car crash, killing 5 children, and the one adult who remains in critical condition at a local hospital. Apparently, no one actually knows what happened in terms of how the car lost control and ended up, off the road, hitting the tree line and eventually landing into snow filled fields. 6-year-old Rochelle Ricks, 14-year-old Zion Beard, 15-year-old Damari Harrell, and 8-year-old London Dixon and Paris Dixon, whose mother, Dominique Taylor, 32 years old, was the driver. The other 3 children were her cousin's children. Crash occurred at a little after 5 a.m. and the vehicle went off the road, struck a tree line, and spun into a snow-covered field. And we want to send our energy, our prayers, our hoteps, our black powers, or whatever your choice of honoring the Creator and asking God to touch the hearts of their families and to embrace these children into the ancestral realm. This is very, very tragic. And this should have made national headlines. But you see, when it's us, it never makes the headlines. And these little babies lost their lives. And the sad part about this whole situation is that none of the children had seatbelts on. That could have saved some lives. And much as seatbelts are uncomfortable, so uncomfortable to put on and wear, in a lot of cases, it will save your life. Especially for these little babies who probably literally just was bouncing and flipping and everything inside the vehicle, causing all 5 of these children to perish in the car crash. Right in Bowie, Maryland, on Route 301, for those who are any subscribers that are from the Washington, D.C. area. You are familiar with Prince George's County. And this is a horrible tragedy. Horrible. Horrible tragedy. And let's just send our prayers to the families, in which I will probably be attending the children's service. The Street Law Soldiers, we always try to attend services for our babies that have been murdered or who have left here far beyond their time. And so look for further information from me on my channel to find out when and where the services are, and I may be there filming. I'm not sure. But let's just for right now send our prayers. We also want to send our energy to Kristoff St. 52 years old, who was found murdered in his LA home. It is said that suicide may have been the cause of death. I'm not sure about that yet. But one thing I'm sure of, that black people do not take their lives, at the drop of a hat like whites do. So I'm going to be looking into this more. But one thing we do know, that he was a manic depressant, dealing with depression because of his son, Julian, who took his own life. And it is said that Kristoff St. never fully recovered from the loss of his son. However, I'm still going to do my own investigation to determine what the actual cause of death was, because right now suicide is being thrown in the air. However, they're waiting on the autopsy report to come back. So at the same time, we send our energy and our prayers to this brother. He's been acting all his life. As a child, he was a child prodigy. And so we just have to wait and see what the autopsy report is, and I'll do more of a thorough investigation. I just wanted to let you all know about this tragedy. This devil here, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, 59 years old. After only 1 year in his 4-year term, and also this devil supported the bill of infanticide, meaning he supports the murdering and by way of aborting black children. And he is a straight devil. And he's under the gun now for being at a party either in blackface or with this Klan outfit on. He will not reveal which one he had on, but he has admitted, after several times of denial when asked, several press conferences of denying these allegations, these facts now, because this is his motherfucking ass. And so people are asking for his resignation, and some whites, Democrats in Virginia act like they are so appalled. But all of them are like this. All of them. Whether you want to accept it or not. Because last month, Florida's Secretary of State resigned for his 2005 photo of him in blackface, dressed as a Hurricane Katrina victim. That's some cold, wicked motherfucking shit. That also lets you know that he knows that Katrina was created. And so we wish the worst for these motherfuckers. Because this type of shit, it may not solve nothing. And we continue to keep going for this shit. And some of you niggas are saying, oh, don't worry about it. But you still engage with these motherfucking crackers on every level. And this is why they are so comfortable doing this. See, Donald Trump gave the green light for white supremacy to come to the forefront. Get out of the closet. Come on, step up. Make America great again. And then you got some niggas that's on the side of the slave master. Before you get to Donald Trump, you got to go through these niggas. You got to go through these niggas that are on the steps of the plantation house. And that's every plantation, meaning every workplace, you got niggas that are guarding this cracker shit in these stores, chasing niggas outside and tackling niggas in the store, just taking little minute stuff. Really trying to show massa that I's a good nigga. I's a good nigga. I's not take nothing, sir. I's a good nigga. You need to be a dead nigga. Jussie Smollett, who was allegedly beat up by some white nationalists, jumped, noose around his neck, which he claimed to have wore the noose all the way home. Now, no one is denying that he got his ass whooped. But what was he doing by himself out there in the wee hours of the night, in the wee morning hours, early morning hours? I can already tell you what was going on. Jussie Smollett was dick hunting. He was looking for a dick or two to eat and put in his butt. And he ran into some white nationalists. And that's why they called him all types of faggots, because he might have asked where the dick's at. He might have said something to that extent. And he got his ass tore off. However, I still wish him a healthy recovery. But let's not, sit there and play this poor old Jussie Smollett bullshit when he was out there on the prowl for a dick or ass to pump, a white ass to pump on. So, Black Lives Matter has jumped in this thing, all feet and hands. They dived into this because of the LGBTQ shit. So that's what was going on, whether you ever admit it or not. Because why would you be alone? You didn't want nobody to interfere or know what you were actually doing. But we know what you were doing. Instead of celebrating Black History Month, because I truly think that Black History Month is going to be banned. Trivia. Who created Black History Month? Because it started Black History Day, then Black History Week. I'll let you give me the answer in the comment box, because I know a lot of you you're going to Google the history of it. You should know this off the top. However, there was not anything on TV about Black History Month, no particular individuals, and the individuals that they do shine the light on are the same individuals. Dr. King, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Thurgood Marshall, No Good Marshall. But they will not honor Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Steve Coakley, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Huey P. Newton. They will not do that. Medgar Evers and the wives of Malcolm, Martin, and Medgar. So you will get people like Madam C.J. Walker, who sold the black community out. Eric Holder, who put away more, assisted Bill Clinton in locking thousands and thousands and thousands of brothers in Washington, D.C. when he was Attorney General and judge in Washington, D.C. See, you don't move up in the judicial circle until you put some work in. As a public defender, you have to send a whole rack of brothers up the road, trick them, make them take these outrageous plea bargains so the prosecutor can get the conviction. Then you move to the prosecutor. You put away every person that comes before you of color. Then after that, you become a judge. Well, really, you're not a judge. You're nothing but a fucking magistrate. Do your research and do your homework. A magistrate cannot send anyone to jail for no more than 3 hours. It's documented because they are not judges. All rise. The Honorable such and such is in session. Court is in session. They are not judges. They are magistrates. They're no more than brokers making deals with your life to see how long you be put away. How much money do you got? How much have you spent in the lights? These devils love this. Groundhog Day. It's nothing but a furry fucking rat. You're looking for a rat to see his own shadow to determine how many more cold days we're going to have on the planet, which is straight bullshit. This is this is a ritual. This is a ritual. The presidents, all the way back to Lincoln, Johnson, all these other motherfuckers, Teddy Roosevelt, all these goddamn devils that were in the White House participated in this ground rat bullshit. Because that's all it is a fucking rodent in which the white man loves to eat. If you watch the Beverly Hillbillies, which was the show that came on in the 60s and 70s, they would always talk about cooking a rodent, possum stew, and all this bullshit. That's the nature of this goddamn savage, to eat animals. John Benet Ramsey, the little white girl that was murdered several years ago, which I think the parents murdered her. But now they have this cracker, this goddamn devil, David Hughes. This goddamn devil has admitted to killing the little girl John Benet Ramsey and his obsession with John Benet Ramsey, stating that he wanted so bad to go to her funeral. If he went, I'm not sure about that. He stated that he wanted to get into the casket and have vicious sex with that little child. This is how sick. This is the mental savage illness of the white man. of this ice age, this snow gorilla, this frozen monkey brain motherfucking savage walking germ that was walking on all fours in the caves of Europe, eating juniper root and having sex with the dead. This is nothing new to them. Now, the news reporters may get on the news and say and talk like it's so bizarre and whatnot, but they have that same energy and vibration in them too. They're no different than him. He's just had enough heart to speak on it. And he would not speak on it if the masses of his people weren't engaging in this. Wake up, brothers and sisters. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. Fred Hampton, chairman of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party. Mark Clark, defense captain, who both were murdered in the early morning hours of December the 4th, 1969. But what I love about Fred Hampton was, as young as he was, 19 years old, a powerful orator. His oratory skills were impeccable. His insight in terms of planning and his visions were phenomenal. And what he did in Chicago was feed 3,000 babies a week with the breakfast program. This is exactly what the street law soldiers are aimed at doing. This is one of our goals, to be able to provide a breakfast and dinner program in the black community, in a place for our babies to do their homework, and after their homework is completed and checked by professionals in the organization or other organizations that are willing to work with us, then we give them an hour or two to play games, PlayStation or whatever, non-violent PlayStation games, and send them home. This is the dinner part of the breakfast and dinner program. The breakfast program is a nutritional meal prior to going to school. And I admire Fred Hampton to the nth degree for creating such a strong and powerful program to help so many babies in the black community in Chicago at that time. And it wasn't a bologna sandwich. Hot nutritional meal, pancakes, cornflakes, waffles, scrambled eggs and cheese, sausage, milk, orange juice, every day of the week. And so the authorities were tired of that. They couldn't deal with that because feeding our babies and having them grow and also feeding them knowledge. They were saying black power in the morning, going to school, getting high grades, escalating up the academic ladder like it's nothing. And these crackers had to get rid of Fred Hampton. Very, very powerful brother. Very powerful. But he has a son, Fred Hampton Jr., who has picked up his father's baton and torch and is leading the charge on black liberation. And we want to salute his son as well, but we really want to salute Fred Hampton for being such a young brother, 19 years old, that had the visions and insights and wisdom of a 50 or 60-year-old. Way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time. brutally murdered in the wee hours. And I've already done a video on Fred Hampton. If you look in my archives, you may be able to find it. And these are the police after they riddled his body. They were laughing, smiling, saying, Fred is dead. Fred is dead. And so don't tell me that this white man is not the fucking devil. Don't tell me no shit like that. Don't tell me that it's just some of them. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Because you name all the white motherfuckers, you name all the white motherfuckers you've had interactions with, and let me know if they were good, bad, or indifferent. I've never had no good relationship with no cracker on this motherfucking planet. None. But Fred Hampton murdered in the wee hours, given a sleeping agent was placed in the Kool-Aid so they would not be able to respond to this raid, this ambush and execution, middle of the night execution. So we want to honor Brother Fred and give him his props. Give him his props. And may he rest in power along with Brother Defense Captain Mark Clark. A lot of times we forget about Mark Clark. So we need to remember Fred Hampton, Defense Captain Mark Clark, for their heroic efforts into making a change in the black community. Now, let me ask you this. What type of changes will you make in the black community? What are your goals? And I want to say this to all the organizations, religious organizations or whatever, ideologies and schools of thought of black people. Regardless of what our belief system consists of, we all need to come together, because what we do have in common is that we're black and we have the same motherfucking problem. The same problem. And so we need to come and work together despite our differences. Because things can change if we work as one. Build our economic structure back in the black community. Because we have no communities. They're just hoods. A community means commune. That means you have total economic control and your economic structure in your community. That means your schools are ran by the citizens and the brothers and sisters in the community. That we know what is being taught. That the safety of our children is protected. Our own banks, our own grocery stores, our own carryouts, restaurants, recreational facilities, libraries, post office, church, temple, mosque, whatever, senate, whatever. We're communities having economic control where you live. We have none of that. We have none of that. You go into any black hood and what you see is people that don't look like you that are taking the money from the people that look like you. The Koreans don't hire. The Arabs don't hire. And the Jews, the white so-called Jews, rent these properties out to these motherfuckers with the permission of the black church. The black church gives them permission to set up shop in the black hood. You all don't know that, but you go in any hood and the pastor is known and the congregation as far as the trustee boards and deacon boards and the pastoral boards are known by the Koreans, by all the proprietors in the hood. Reverend such and such, how are you? How are you? You need anything? Please take what you want. And so, you know, we have to stand back up. Simple as that. Because we headed for self-destruction. The government shutdown said a lot. It showed how dependent black people are on this cracker. People lined up making $40, $50 an hour on these plantations, but you were lined up with your hand out getting bags of food, getting your rent paid, getting your utility bills paid because you are so far behind, trying to portray that you're not poor. Like I told you all, if one of us are poor, all of us are poor. You know, think about it. Back in the day, everybody was about even. You had a man in the house that worked. You had the mother who took care of nurturing, cleaning the house up, taking care of all duties, womanly duties. And the children were in order. Structure was in the house. Structure was in the home. But if you take the man out of the equation, then you have total chaos. You have the woman thinking that she's the man and the woman, and begin to have disdain for the black man, not even understanding and seeing that your mate, your man, your soulmate, the other half of you, your children's father, is on the list for termination. I'm gonna break some more things down to you all, brothers and sisters. But for right now, leave your comments. Tell me what you think. My next video, I'll be getting back with you all in a minute. And we're going to discuss the life of one of our most iconic figures in the music industry. Hotel, Black Power.